Yes, as you're seeing there in this very brief footage, comedian Dave Chappelle was attacked during his set at the Hollywood Bowl just last night. The man that you can see over and over again tackling him there is Isaiah Lee, a 23-year-old who was arrested and apparently was using a gun-shaped knife. And so he was armed with a deadly weapon, was able to get past security, get up onto the stage at the Hollywood Bowl and attack him. Apparently, it's a replica gun that can eject a knife blade. Horrifying, regardless of the details, that he was able to get so close to Dave Chappelle to actually attack him. Chappelle apparently was not actually injured in the incident, but he was attacked. And as many people are pointing out, David, this is now not that far away from the Will Smith, Chris Rock incident. People were worried after that we might see more attacks against comedians. I don't know if we can necessarily say that these are linked or anything like that. That information isn't available, but what do you think about it?
Yeah, it's tough to know whether or not those two are linked. Regardless, it's stupid. I mean, I don't know how this is. Why would anybody do this? It is so dumb on every level. Like this is just this is an assault. This is attacking somebody for what? Being doing comedy. Like, this is so ridiculous. Of course, it's fine to criticize if you don't like what someone says, whatever. Use your words, tweet something out, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
To physically attack somebody in any situation, on stage, not on stage, regardless, is just horrendous, insane. And yeah, I'm glad he was caught, and I'm glad he's gonna be facing charges.
Exactly. Yeah. I would assume that you'd have to be out of your mind. I mean,
yeah.
Knowing what is likely to happen to you, and did in fact happen to him. He got attacked by security as a result of that. You can see, actually, we'll put up another video of what happened after the actual attack.
Hey, back up. Get back. Don't push me.
So it looked in some of the photographs as if his arm was bent the wrong way. It wasn't super clear from the video, but he clearly suffered quite a bit from it. And yeah, so why would you do, what could you possibly think would come out of this? Now, people who attack celebrities or try to take out politicians, obviously a lot of them are not in their right minds. That said, Will Smith thought he would get away with it. Of course, he's a famous person, so there's obviously a little bit more leeway given, but just madness. And by the way, the Hollywood Bowl is like a major event space. One would think their security would be a little bit more on the ball. Now, they got to him relatively quickly, but if he had led with the knife, he could have stabbed Dave Chappelle initially before they got to him. So Dave Chappelle had to have been worried. Now, he responded by making a joke about that being a trans man. Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith, so they went at it from different angles. David, I don't know why you'd have to make the trans joke right after it, but he is in this case still the victim. He just decided to take away a little bit of the sympathy that people might have by making a joke like that.
I mean, I think he's just playing in the moment. I mean, he knows why he was being attacked before, online, not physically attacked. So I think he was trying to make light of the situation by whatever. Honestly, I think the joke's fine. It's not an anti-trans joke. It's just pointing out how he's been criticized for saying transphobic things. But yeah, I mean, this is what I find interesting is how these people deal with it in that moment. I mean, you saw Chris Rock get up and also kind of try to and brush it off and go on, though he was clearly shaken. I'm sure Dave Chappelle also was shaken after this happened. I mean, how couldn't you be? So, going forward, I'm sure these comedians are gonna be a little more, aware of their surroundings. And that is unfortunate that this is gonna be a thing that people are thinking about. Is this going to happen when I'm at this show? Now that it's happened twice, this is, I guess you could say somewhat of a pattern. And there's gonna have to be more security maybe at some of these events to stop something like this. But regardless, the whole situation is ridiculous.
Exactly, and we have no idea if it was in relation to things that Dave Chappelle has said, or just an obsessive fan about Dave Chappelle, or if it was a political thing. I mean, God only knows. We have no idea. They need more security, and I'm sure that the high-profile comedians will get more security. What I'm worried about is those who aren't at that level, who might find themselves being attacked. And obviously, it shouldn't need to be said, but and I will only speak for myself, but I assume that I could probably speak for you too. We don't support any of this at all.
No,
I know we're lefties, and so obviously we believe in cancel culture. We think you should be destroyed if we don't like something that you say. But no, we don't actually support any of this. We use our words. It's literally our career field is speaking out for and against the things that we like or don't like, and we would really prefer society to be run in that fashion rather than attacking each other.
Yeah, and by the way, regardless of what we say now, the right's gonna come out and say, look what the left is doing. They're attacking people on stage. Like that's what they're going to do. Even though this is one guy who's, I'm sure, a little out of his mind. This is not something that anybody on the left actually condones. But they're going to try and paint us as the extremists attacking people on stage when that is not at all the case.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.